Welcome back to Mistie Vapour's House of Chandeliers and Mirrors, and today I'm going to show you a sock crochet pattern. Welcome to Mistie Vapour's House of Chandeliers and Mirrors. So here's some of the socks I've been crocheting. So there's two. And this just tells me what pattern and needle sizes that I used. So I just keep a record. Nice pink and cream. Another nice, really thick pair. Pink and green. And green and pink. And pink, pink, pink. Oh, and this I call my Barbie pair. These are the two colours I'm going to share with you today. A pair of scissors. A crochet needle. My needle is a 4 ml. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that. There. And my yarn ply. Just grab the label. My yarn is 8 ply. Let's get started. In this pattern, I start with chain 7. Oh, hang on, I'll show you how to make the knot. I hold the thread in this finger. I hook this one around it, go over my fingers and pinch it with my thumb and finger. I get the back of the hook. I go in, twirl it around, pull it down, and then crochet my first chain. And I pull it nice and tight. And then I just wiggle it a bit because sometimes you get your chains that tight you can't get back into. Now we chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, sorry, if you don't know how to chain, we go around the cord and pull through. Around, pull through. Around, pull through. Around, pull through 9 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now when you hold it like that, each one of those loops is a chain. So there's 7 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm at 9. Got 7 on the brain. So now we want to go back 2 chains. So 1, 2, and into this chain we do 2 single crochets. Now single crochet is straight into the work, around the yarn, pull it through and up, and then wrap around and pull it through both those loops. That's a single crochet. So we've gone 1, now we want 2. So in, pull through, over, pull through. And now down along here we want 6 single crochets. So into the work, pull through, yarn over, pull through. So that's 1. So we'll do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we should have 1 chain left, which we'll put 2 in the end, 2 single crochets. So go through, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through. That's 1 in the same stitch. 2, that's 2. So that's that side. And we turn our work around and we do 2 more in that same hole. So 1 single crochets and 2 single crochets. Now we do 6 single crochets down along here, and we tuck in our tail as we go. So it just saves on loose ends at the end. Do the housekeeping as we go. So 6 single crochets in the next 6 stitches. So 1, and they're just on the other side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now in the end, where there's the first 2 single crochets, we put another 2 single crochets. And so that's 1, 2. Now I'll just cut that because, ouch, okay, so that's the first round, and it should end up with 20 stitches. And back into this very first single crochet, I go in, pull through and pull through, which is called a slip stitch, and then chain 2 for the next row. Just grab my e-shot. This is, instead of having a coffee, matches my stuff, and it's got adaptogens in it, so it's healthier, helps you concentrate. Just give it a shake up. Let's have a look in there, make sure it's all shook up. Good for extra energy, clarity, thinking, focus. Okay, now for our second row, where we slip stitch out of, now we're doing half double crochet, so that's around in the work, back through, around, and pull through it all. So that's our half double crochet, but the stitch that we pulled the slip stitch through, I'll show you again. So that last stitch where we're going to do the slip stitch and then chain 2, I put my half double crochet in that same stitch. Other people don't. I always find the work looks much tidier because this is what the join will look like. Where's one's? The join will look nice and tidy. There's where you join it. The join will look nice and tidy. There's no holes. Don't know if I got one where I did it the other way and I found that the pattern I used was leaving too many holes. No, not that sock. I did do it in the original, but yeah, it's not here. But it leaves a little gap and I feel it's untidy, so we do our half double crochet into that same stitch. So in there, pull through, wrap it over, pull right through. So you kind of got 3 little loops on your last pull through. So we do 1 in that hole, and then the next half double, in the next stitch we do 3 half double crochets. So yarn over, through, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through those 3 loops. That's 1, 2, yarn over, through the work, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, through the work, 3. Now in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stitches, we put 7 single crochets in each. 1 single crochet in each. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then in this next single crochet, next single. Next stitch we put 3 half double crochets. I hope I'm saying the right thing. Just watch what I'm doing. My tongue never obeys my brain. So that's 1, 2, 3 half double crochets, and then this top stitch here we put another half double crochet. Then where's we go now? That's that half done. So now this side we put 3 half double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and 7 down the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7. We put 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. And this stitch here is, it's like a fake stitch, but it's where the chain come through. So I always go into, there's your 2 chain, 1, 2. I always go into the 1, 2, this next bit. It always just finishes my work off tidy. Okay, that's that row. So now we should have 28 stitches. So we slip stitch 2 single crochets, and now we do 28 single crochets all the way around our work. So that's back into the same stitch that we did our slip stitch, into that one, and we go 28 half double crochets all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Okay, back to 28, and then that kind of like fake stitch there, we don't worry about him. Then we slip stitch into the chain 2, the top of it. So there's 1, 2, and I always go into this bit here and pull out it, slip stitch. Okay, the next, so we chain 2, and the next we go into that same stitch with 1 half double crochet, and do another half double crochet in the next stitch. Now put 2 in the next stitch, 1, 2, and then we put 9 down the side. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we put another 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, and then we put 3 half double crochets in the next 3 stitches. So there's 1 half double crochet in that stitch, 1 half double crochet in that stitch, and 1 half double crochet in that stitch. Then in the next stitch we put 2, 1, 2. So that's the top. Now we're going down the other side. So 9 half double crochets in the next 9 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we put 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. 1, 2, and 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, and then we slip stitch into there, chain 2. Now we should have 32 stitches. So back into that same stitch, we just go around all half double crochets in each, 1 half double crochet in each stitch. So let me get some more wool, and we just go right round, do 32 all the way around. Right. Okay. Now we won't slip stitch, because if we squish this flat, that's our toe. We want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, and then we're going to bring in our other colour for our toes. The way I bring in my wool is wrap it around my finger, hold a piece like that, and I slip stitch into that one into where I've been slip stitching, grab my wool and the other wool, pull it tight, get them close together. Then I bring the other one through, slip stitch through. Then I knot the 2 different colours together, and I cut the one I'm finished with, get him out of the picture. Then I pick up my work, I grab the 2 bits, the 2 ends, put them in between the needle and the yarn. Then I chain my 2 stitches and go back into that same stitch, making sure the yarn's in between, because I'm going to crochet it in and put it away straight away. So now what are we doing? We single crochet, half double crochet into that one, and now we do 32 stitches. We do 32 stitches around all the way up to the heel. So I'm a size, I'm kind of a size 7. I can be a 6.5. So I do mine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 rows. But I'll show you how to measure it on your foot so that you get the right length. So I've put my sock on, and you can see that it's up to about here. Where I want it to stop, this to stop is about here, because that'll stretch over there. But so that's probably for me 2 more rows, which I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of those rows. So probably go to 11 for me. But you might have a longer foot or a shorter foot, and it's just up to you. Because this will be based on the size of your foot now. The length of your foot, I mean. So we just keep going around with 32 stitches all the way up for 11 rows. So I will come back to you when the 11 rows are done. So just pause the video now, and then when you're ready to move on with the next step, just press play. Just coming back, I've done 11 rows for my foot. 30, 31, 32. Okay, so now we slip stitch into the stitch there and pull that little loop through, and just cut your cotton off really short, pull that knot in, do our housekeeping as we go. I just pull this all through some of the back loops just to keep it tidy. Feeding it through, and that's my neighbours there. Just cut that little bit off. Okay, now we find our seams. So that's the toe, get it all nice and straight. So that's the front toe, get it all nice and straight. And what I do, I look for the very side stitch. So I fold that down, I look for the very side stitch, which will be this one here, and I go to the one above it. So that's where I want to go in. I get my cotton again, thread it through, slip stitch it, and then I tie another knot. It's hard when you're not sitting on the couch doing it on your lap. Okay, so I tie that knot in. I don't even worry about this one because I crochet that in when I do the heel, but this is to start the heel space. So what we do here is a foundation. So we go, for this one, it'll be a half double crochet foundation stitch. So yarn over, we'll go into that stitch there, pull the yarn through and up, yarn over, pull the yarn through one loop, yarn over, pull the yarn through 3 loops. That's one, yarn over, then we go through like those 2 stitches there, which look like these, but the one we just done. So we go through over those 2 loops. Oh dear, should have did it looser. The first one's hard. Pull the yarn through and up, yarn over, through the 1 loop, and that gives us another chain, and then pull it through the 3 loops, yarn over, so now that's 2, go back, hope I'm showing you okay, there's another chain there, that chain we just made, put your needle through that, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull it through. There's the third stitch, so we got 1, 2, 3 chain there, and pull it through the other 3. Yarn over, put it over them 2 stitches, those, not 2 stitches but 2 bits of yarn, chain that one. So now we got 1, 2, 3, 4 chains, and then pull through the 3. Yarn over and put it through there, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through that one. Now we got 5 chain. I hold that stitch and then pull the chain through. Then when I loop it over, I can go back into that stitch because it's nice and kind of loose, I guess. Pull the yarn through that, yarn over, make the 6th chain. Then I pinch it and then pull it through. Then when I loop again, it's easier to grab that. There it is there. That chain, the top of it. Pull the yarn through, yarn over. Oh, what am I up to? Yep, pull that through. Nope, forgot where I was up to. Pull that through. Yarn over. Go through the top of that. And we want 20 of these, so pull that through, pull it through. So we just keep going till we get 20 of these. I think I've got my 20, so I just count. 20. Okay, I got my 20. So I've got my sock put on, and here's the bit that I've just finished. So there's 20 stitches there. What we need to do is, I'll take you over to this side of my ankle. What we need to do is bring that around. So let's, I can't wrap my hand around. Hang on, I've got my hands over with my camera. So what we do is bring that around, and just so it sort of sits like that, because we kind of, the fabric will stretch and you want the sock to fit sort of firmly. So just till it comes around to your ankle here. That's how you kind of size it up. So what we do, so that's the back of your sock, because you can see the seam running down it, and when you turn it over you can't. So what we need to do is bring this chain around. That's your top of your sock. Now again, back, that's the very side stitch. We'll go into the one up top, but we have to yarn over first and then go into that one just above it, and we half double crochet into that stitch. Then we half double crochet around and around and around and around without stopping. We don't stop, slip stitch, go up chain 2. We just go round and around and around. You can if you want to, but it's, I don't. So we just keep, and this will make the sock however high you want the sock to go up this away. So if you want a really long sock, keep doing more rows all the way up. If you don't, just, I just do, what do I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I do 9 rows for my way up, how high I want my socks. So just keep going around with your half double crochets in each stitch, just round and round and round now. And then when you get to the height of the sock you want, we'll come back and do the heel. So I'll show you when I just get across here, I'll show you where the heel hole is. Just a little tip that I do to help the sock bend up your top of your foot. I half double crochet into that little corner bit and loop over and then into the, it's hard to get that very first stitch because it's kind of tight. If it's too hard to get into, just go into the second one. And that just sort of decreases a stitch there and just bends it up better. Okay, so what was I going to tell you? Oh, the heel. Okay, so now that we've gone around, so that's the top of your sock. Like this is the top of your sock. So we're looking at this part here. So there is, that part is there. There, like that. So we're gonna crochet up the top of the sock and then come back and put crochet in the heel. So my Nana taught me to crochet. She also taught me to knit. And also I lived on a farm. I lived on a dairy farm and the dairy farmers down the road, I used to go see, spend time with a lady down the road every Saturday, and she was probably between my mum's age and my nana's age, and she used to teach me how to knit. My nana taught me how to knit, but my nana lived in Warwick, whereas this lady just lived down the road around the corner. Her name was Shirley, and she taught me how to do knitting. Oh, actually now we're back at the other corner of the top. I like to decrease a stitch there, so where we actually hooked onto the sock. So I always decrease in that corner, and just so it helps the sock tip up, and it pulls the back of the heel, like back of the ankle, in a little bit firmer onto your foot. You can tweak the pattern to suit yourself as you get good at this, or you're familiar with the pattern. But yeah, she used to live down the road, and so every Saturday I'd go down there and I'd set her hair in rollers, pluck all her hair out wherever, like her eyebrows, and shave her legs, paint her toenails, and she would teach me how to knit. So I knitted this jumper and when I tried it on, it had really, really scrawny arms. It just was so out of whack. So that was like, oh my gosh, I'm not very good at knitting, but crocheting I could do. So she used to knit and I used to sit and crochet, and her husband, Bernie, would sit and watch the football. Yeah, so that's what I used to do every Saturday. So I did learn quite a lot of stuff. I kind of taught myself to sew. My mum had a sewing machine, and when she was always sewing, I would always sit on the ground and hand sew Barbie doll clothes. So eventually, as I got old, I think I was about 6 or 7, and I asked her, can I use a sewing machine? So she taught me how to thread the sewing machine, my mum did. She taught me how to use a foot pedal, use the foot, and how to lock the foot down when you're sewing and lift the lock up. And she just told me, don't run your fingers through, don't run your fingernails, don't sew your fingers. Like, don't run the sewing machine needle through your fingernail because that will really hurt. So it's like, she warned me, be really careful with your fingers as you're feeding in the material, because it makes my body cringe to think about it. So it never happened. I've always been really careful, and I basically just taught myself to sew. And as I got older, I don't know, it was just natural that I could like understand patterns and like there was always someone there, my mum, my nana or Shirley, to help me out if I got a bit stuck. So I've always had a fair idea. I'm not too crash. Oh, I can understand the materials they got out these days are just so confusing. Like, I'm familiar with the materials from the 70s, 80s and 90s, but now I have no idea what materials are, and I guess when you pick them up and feel them, you can guess how they'll perform when you make an outfit, but to hear their name, like say you're at home reading a pamphlet from Spotlight and you read the name of the material, I have no idea what purpose it will serve when you're making a garment. So but yeah, I've always crocheted. I've crocheted heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps, crocheted all my whole life. Now that I live up here in Rockhampton, it's really hot, and it's really sweaty to crochet. Your fingers sweat. You kind of like got to have corn flour to dip your fingers into to keep your thread running, and you don't want that all over your or baby powder, but you kind of don't want that all through your work. You know, you want it to be nice and fresh when you're finished. But yeah, so I just sort of crochet in winter when it's cooler and you're not sweating so much. So what rows are you up to? I'm up to 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. Always, I don't bother checking how many stitches I got now, because it just seems to work out. Although when you're doing a man sock, I did a sock for my partner Matt, and he tried it on and it barely went over his ankles. So making men's socks, you have to probably consider making that heel much bigger. But as I showed you on the measurement with the ankle, you would probably pick that up in the measurements, whereas I just did a guesswork. I thought, oh yeah, that'll be big enough, and it wasn't. But it does stretch over and it fits perfect and it's comfy, so I just left it at that. These socks are more for me, so I don't think he'll wear them that much. I was just using up some old yarn. Okay, I shall finish this off and go to the end. Catch you in a minute. Just coming back around to where I joined on that first loop. So that I've got from the heel, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I just put the rib on, but because you went round in a spiral, where I started I finish off, and the way I taper off just above it is I do my half double crochet, then I do a single crochet, another single crochet, a slip stitch, and then a slip stitch just to come down, so it looks like that. So then it's level pretty much. If I counted that way, I'd have 9. If I counted this way, I'd have 9. Okay, so now, so what I might do here instead is bring in my other colour again. And bring it in through there. Tie it off. Hey Lily, what you doing? My dog is just doing me cut that one. Sometimes you can cut the wrong one. You're like, ah, damn. Okay, now pick that up. Now I chain 2 I mean, sorry. Then I get now we're doing half double crochets again, and then I go down into that next stitch and just pick up, so you're going around the back of it and crocheting on the front of it. So go down, behind it, come back, hook over, pull your yarn through, and then pull it through the whole lot. So you're coming through the front. I'll have to pull them in later, that's right. Yarn around the front, come over the top, and pull your yarn through. Yarn over, around the back of the stitch, bring that around, yarn through all 3. And I just keep doing that around the back, all the way around. It's neater if you can get it over the top there. And you just keep going around. Oh, my phone's gone. So we just bought a motorhome, so I'll have some videos up soon about how I'm going to decorate the motorhome, how we've had to fix the motorhome. They're not very detailed because sometimes I wasn't at the shed when the boys were pulling out the parts to get the video, and then there's a lot of sweat. They boys swear a lot, so there's sort of, I kind of wanted to do step by step of how we fix the motorhome, but yeah, kind of not working out. But there's trips of where we've been in the motorhome, so you'll get to see the Australian Highway, geez, is it called the Pacific Highway? I can't even remember now. Bruce Highway it's called. So there's a lot of cane farms and that to look at. So if you're keen or interested in seeing Australian countryside, let me know and stay tuned for I'll just be putting them all in the my one YouTube account because it's still small. I don't know if I'm sort of doing the right thing by doing that, but I just have it sorted out in sections. So this will go in crocheting, the other one will go in motorhoming, and we'll see how we go from there. So when we get back around to the start, I'll show you how I join. Nearly there. So now we're doing it through the single crochet, which is a little bit tighter. Going through that stitch and then going through that. Just whatever you can find to make up so it all looks good. See? That all looks good. And then I slip stitch into that same stitch I've always slip stitched into. It's just it sits forward a little bit more. So I slip stitch into that, chain 2. And then for the next round, yarn over and I go through that loop now. Oops. I go around the back of that stitch. Still doing a half double crochet. And I'll do that for another 2 rounds, so that all up there's 3 rounds. And that'll give the ribbed look. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. You can do a lacy frill. I'm going to do lacy frills when I get sick of doing these ones and figure out what kind of lacy frill I want to put on my socks. So yeah, let me know if you want to see that, and I'll put lace on them. Cool. I will see you back at the end, and then we'll fill in the hole here. Okay, just about ready back at the beginning. So I've just got one more there to do. And then I just slip stitch into the very top of that first one. And slip stitch it, pull that, knot it, turn it around. Do my housekeeping as I go. So just thread that through, down through some loops. So they're all tucked away. There, and now, oh, there's that one there too, these guys. I can hear my chookies outside. Did anyone see the Barbie movie? What did they think of it? Let me know in the comments. I thought it was going to be like more of a fantasy, but it was sort of like a really big message. And I agree, I played with Barbie on the basis that whatever I played was my own creativity. I had a ball playing with my Barbie dolls. I've still got my Barbie Star Traveller. I think I still got my Barbie Dream. Oh, it was a dollhouse then. It had the lift in it. Probably 1975 and onward I would have had stuff. Okay, here, let's do the heel. So what I do, I like to, so there's your seam coming up. This is the sole. So here's the seam coming up here. I like to put about between the end here and there. Doesn't really matter, just stick it in the middle there. Add in my yarn. Tie it off. Then put it through the middle there because I'll stitch it in as I go. Do one single crochet, one slip stitch I guess. Then in the next stitch just go straight in, yarn over, out, up, yarn over and through for single crochets, and then single crochet all the way around. I like to make it flat and just single crochet. So straight into the work, yarn over, pull through, up, yarn over, pull through. Single crochet all the way around, even into these corners here. Even into that single little bit of stitch. I sometimes get worried about it, so I just pick up one stitch from below just to give it some strength, because I think, oh, that poor little stitch holding there by himself. Then you'll go into the tops of all these stitches. That one, the first one's a bit hard. Go into him, and then the rest are a breeze till you get around to the other join, other like corner of the sock hole. Just go all the way around. I like watching really old movies back in the 1940s because I like the setting. So if you know of any movies that are set in that era, let me know, because I'd love to watch them. I watched one, Why Women Kill. That was, some of the part of that was set in the like 40s or 50s. So love that sort of movie. So some are really hard to get into. Just go into the next one. Just sort of, as long as your spacing looks reasonably equal. If you're worried, just go in between. Some of them are weird because they're kind of the side of the stitch. That one poor stitch there by himself again. And that one. All the way around, nearly back to the start. He's a bit tight because he's where I pull the last stitch tight to finish off. And there we go, back to the start. And then I slip stitch into that one again. There. Now we go chain 2 and we go half double crochets all the way around, but when we go to the corners, I will show you how we decrease. So we crochet our way in to that corner. So that's like your corner there. That's where we need to decrease. So what I do is the guy in the corner, so that hole there, I go into this one, the center hole, and the next one. So I go, so we're not there yet, so one more. So the guy in the corner, I go yarn over, through, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, through, pull that through and up, yarn over, and go through that hole. Pull the yarn through, yarn over, and pull it through the whole lot. Then yarn over and into the next stitch. Like that. Then we go single crochet, half double crochet all the way across. To the next corner. There. We do 5 rows of these too, doing the same thing for 5 rows. Nearly there, I think. Must be getting closer. Every stitch is a stitch closer. Takes a couple of hours to make these socks. Don't put 2 stitches in the one hole. That's what you got to be careful of. Okay, here we are in the corner. Okay, so who will I make the corner hole? Okay, I'll make it him. Okay, so here's the corner one. So I'm going to stitch too early. So go into that stitch. So I found the center stitch and you go to either side to decrease. So yarn over, go through again, yarn, pull it up, yarn over, go through the third one, yarn over and pull it through the whole lot. And then into the next stitch. And you keep going round and round and round for 5 rounds. So I'll go back across and show you the decrease again. Into this corner. Oh, hang on, no, we're going back to the start, sorry. Lost where I was. Okay. Grab that. Okay, here we are, off to the next corner. So this is our second row of the half double crochets. So we get close to the corner. So, okay, so where all of those are, where we put all those loops on, in him, he becomes the center all the time, and then the two either side. So finish that stitch off. You go into that one, so you go yarn over, into him, yarn over, into him, yarn over, and into him, yarn over, and pull through the whole lot. Then yarn over and into the next stitch. Round to the other side. I'll show you again. And we keep decreasing like that all the way. Missed that one up. Okay, getting close. So we look for it. He's the big one. So he's the center hole. So we go either two. So we go yarn over into that hole, pull the yarn through, yarn over into the center hole, pull the yarn through, yarn over into the third hole, pull through, yarn over and pull it through the whole lot. And then yarn over and into the next stitch. Back around to our slip stitch, chain 2. Okay. Yep. Slip stitch, chain 2, and that same stitch all the way around. So there's that middle one with all the things, so we want to go to there. That was that. Then this is it. So yarn over into the first one, yarn over into the second one, yarn over into the third one, yarn over and pull it all the way through, yarn over and into the next stitch. Across to the other side. When I said 5 rows, I never count this little one down here. I just count the 5 of these half double crochet rows. Go across. Where are we? Yep. So he's the center one with all the 3. Him the center. So that's yarn over into the first hole, yarn over into the second hole, yarn over into the third hole, yarn over, and sometimes you've got to wriggle your needle through, and then yarn over and into the next one. Yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over into the next stitch. Back to our slip stitch. What are we up to then? It's hard sitting this way. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So 2, chain 2 into the same stitch. Over to the corner. If you can hear that noise, we have a Dyno Pro and it does that sort of stuff. Okay, here's the one with, does the revving of the car. Okay, here we are. So that's all the thingers. So we go into the first one, yarn over into the second one, yarn over into the third one, pull it, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over into the next stitch, all the way across to the other side. Hope this is helpful to you guys. You can always ask me for my advice. Okay, here we go again. There's your big one, that's its slope, so this will be the first one. Yarn over into the first hole, yarn over into the second hole, yarn over into the third hole, yarn over and pull it all the way through, yarn over and into the next stitch. Now where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So we're on just about onto our 5th row of half double crochets. Yep. Must be making these too tight. There we go, just chain 2 in the same stitch. Okay, this is our last row, so 1, 2, 3, 4, this will be 5. 1, 2, and 1. Okay, so I've got one more to do. Now that's the big one, so that's the center one. 2 either side, so go into the first one, the second one, and the third one. Pull it through into the next stitch. Cool. Then we'll go. Do we go back to this, we're going over to the next corner, aren't we? Then we're done. Then I'll show you how I stitch it all up. Across we go. Nearly there. Oop, where are we? Here we go. So here's the main one. So into that one. 2, 3. And we're back at the start. And yep, slip stitch into that one. There. Now we pull that through, leave ourselves a fair bit, pull that right through, pull it tight so it knots. Then I come and work out the flatness of my sock. So it's like, there's the sock, so I'll get all that straight. And then I flip it around, and here's our cotton where we finished off. I'll go into the side here and pull it through. Then I go into the, so I pulled it out through this side stitch here. I go into the next stitch under that and over to the next stitch on the other side of it and pull it through. Put it back over my fingers. Then go into that stitch under that yarn and into the next stitch over here, preferably not the same one. There. Doesn't really matter anyway, kind of can't tell. Into that stitch under the thread that there. Just saves pulling out a needle and thread really. Into that stitch and that stitch. Now we don't have to worry about that little bit of thread we put under there because it's not on this side. So into that stitch and that stitch. 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 Into that stitch. That stitch. Now we're nearly to the other side. So because I went out through the side there, I go in through that very same stitch and out through the side and then bring that stitch through. I flip my sock over and then I stick my needle up inside, stick it through close to where that cotton come out, my yarn, pull it through inside my sock, turn my sock inside out, and I get a loop to go under. I pick up my yarn, pull it through, and then go back and pull it through and make another knot there, like that. Then I go and just go under some loops. It's always easier if you get a smaller needle and just feed it through to hide what's left. I always like leaving a long end because if I cut it off at the knot, it could unravel on me. Whereas once you wear it a couple of times and the fibres knot together, all these little fine fibres, just helps make it much more secure. And there's our sock. Look at that. There you go, our sock. So cool, I love it. Okay, so this sock is made with 8 ply and a needle size 4mm, and these socks are made with a needle of 350, so that one's 4. This needle for this one is 350, that's 8 ply, that's 8 ply. And that both starting off with the chain 9. Where's this sock? Now this sock, see the difference in sizes? So this sock is with a needle of 350, which is the same I did that in, but this is with a 10 ply yarn, so it's chunkier. And that one I started off with a 9 chain. This one I started off with a 7 chain. I modified that to get the needle smaller. Because the yarn was bigger, I put the needle was the same. Hang on, I'm confused. This yarn is thicker than this yarn. I used a 350 needle and a 350 needle. So this yarn was 8 ply, this yarn was 10 ply, and this pattern was a chain 9. Oh, this one was chain 7 actually. That's chain 9. This is chain 7. So then, and then there's this size, which is a needle that is 3 millimeters on the 10 ply, and it was a 7 chain. So it should be just slightly smaller, but it's the same. It's weird, isn't it? I just was experimenting with different size net. It's much thicker. This is more soft, bendier, and this is more thicker. So that's how you get them thicker, is go smaller and thicker thread. But yeah, I can't remember what that was. I think that's a chain 7 with a 3 millimeter needle. That one. But this ply is only 8 ply. That's probably also confusing, but anyway, I just thought I'd show you all the different sizes. So I'm going to go right on that, what size needle it was, which was that size, the size of the yarn, just so I can have a fair idea of what the sizes are going to turn out like. And I can't remember how I did this, because see how I decreased on the ankle there, and when I said to turn it up, that just doesn't do it there, but it does it much better there. And yeah, so it all turned out really weird. So that did make the sock look a lot better. There we go, we're finished. So I hope that was so valuable to you, and I hope you have fun making your socks. Let me know in the comments how you went. I do have a group. If you want to hop in the group, just let me know and I can add you to the group. It won't be just about crocheting. It'll be just about things I've done around the house and that kind of stuff. Some renovations, painting some furniture, what I used to paint an old wall that had really old paint on that I slightly sanded off and then put special paint over it so the loose paint stuck to the wall, I guess. So, and it come out a little bit crazy cracked, which I can show you the texture. So yeah, just anything around the house that I get up to, I'll show you. And thanks for joining me.
And I can't wait to see you next time.